So how is your WonderCon going?
Oh, it's going wonderful. I mean, it is WonderCon, and I'm having a fabulous time. It's great to meet fans, because many of the things I did that we are celebrating, I did 20, 30, 40 years ago. It's amazing that people's passion are still excited for these franchises that I did.
What do you think it is about Power Rangers that it still has that staying power?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It really is just, I remember when it started, it was one of those things as a parent, my child was about the age where they were targeting, and we had those conversations of, do we let our son watch this? Or he was in that getting out of the Barney stage. But I was a Warner Brothers cartoon kid, and so Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny shot each other's face off. So it's like, I had no qualms over it.
Well, cartoon versus live action is a little bit different, but fair, I get that. Yeah, grow up Looney Tunes as well. You're like, that's very violent, all things considered. That poor Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, But being part of Power Rangers then, what was that like just to see that growth of a franchise too, and to be like, I was there back in the day?
It was, at the time, it was just it was just a job. You just were, it was growing, but you auditioned for a part. My agent actually was Amy Jo Johnson's agent too at the same time. So he had known that this part was coming up. So he wanted to he let me know that this was coming up. Would I be interested in it? I still had to audition against other people, but I knew that it was coming up. And so I gave the right audition. You just never know with an audition. It's kismet. Does it happen? Does it not happen? And then I really had no idea that it was a two-parter either. And the character-wise, when you're my size as a character, many of the things that come through have a lot of makeup, have a lot of costuming. Hollywood still to this day does not know how to write for little people. I mean, how many times do you see a little person selling something on a commercial? Tell me the last time. We can wait.
I was going to say, that's going to be a 0.
Yeah. And so just doing those types of things of when you have a character that was so strong that saved the day for the heroes. The heroes were not believing in themselves. I saved the day for them so that we can... I have to look at it that it is because of me that Power Rangers is still going, because had they not listened to me, they would be dead, and we would have no more Power Rangers. So I guess Power Rangers should thank me and Quagmire, not myself, but Quagmire, because I saved the day.
Very true. Any special memories from working on that island of illusion?
It was that all the guys and gals who were working on the show were such just nice kids, and it was a great crew. It's like you're a family when you work on these things, and when you're a guest star, you're brought into the family as a distant cousin, and they bring you in. Hopefully, if you're not, if you're nice enough, and they bring you in, and that's what they did. So I was that long lost cousin who they brought in, then left after dinner.
You get a bounce, no family drama for you, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Also, I was going to follow up. Speaking of family, what do your kids now think of, like, my dad's in the Power Rangers?
My son was. I was a big hit at school, and it was neat that I was in Power Rangers, and all his friends would go home and watch, and their dad, yeah, that's my dad, it was fun. I would be able to bring, not on that set, but other sets, I was able to bring my son Wyatt onto different things. It's a neat thing that you get on your back pocket when you are working on these things. You get to work on different projects through the years, and he hung out, played basketball with Frankie Muniz on Malcolm in the Middle, Brandon Fraser on Looney Tunes Back in Action. They buzzed around all over the place. He goes to, I was in Return of the Jedi, and he would give him a VIP pass, and at the conventions he'd be running around and having a grand old time with everything. So it was always nice. And then we wrote a book, my wife and I wrote a book about my time on Return of the Jedi for him, so that I lost my dad a couple of years ago, and it's those stories that you wish that you would have told your children, or Dad, what about this story? And so these were stories that were so ingrained in my life that I tell to everybody at lunches on sets, that we wrote it down on a book, and we wrote it more like a hero's journey, because I was only 22 and I became the top stuntman on Return of the Jedi. And I'm the Ewok that flies all over the place. I take out all 3 ATSTs. I beat up stormtroopers, and it's a fun read. It's a fun read. It's called My Journey to Endor. It's on Amazon or at your local bookstore. Demand it. But it's on a pay to publish type of thing, so it's self-published.
Congratulations. That's very exciting. And anything else you'd like to tell the fans?
I have a couple of projects that I can't tell you about. I'm sorry, I signed an NDA, but they will be coming out. But you'll be hearing about me later on this year. But Power Rangers has been very near and dear to my heart, and it's wonderful to talk to fans who are still so passionate over something like this 30 years ago. Thank you.
Well, thank you.